On my birthday, my husband slapped me in front of everyone. Did I beg you to marry me? His father, furious, added, I always said women from single-parent families aren't marriage material. They're psychologically unhealthy. His childhood sweetheart stood up to leave. He chased after her. I finally stopped forcing it. Then let's divorce. Let's not see each other again. Later, I heard he cooked a bowl of noodles every day, but the person meant to eat them never returned. On my birthday, Mark brought a bowl of noodles out of the kitchen. It was supposed to be placed in front of me, but his childhood sweetheart, Claire, spoke up. I haven't eaten your cooking in so long. Could I have a small bowl of these noodles? Just a baby bowl is fine. Mark's tone was stiff. No, I cooked this specifically for my wife. Claire looked disappointed for a moment, then smiled brightly again. It's my fault for being insensible. Mark, don't be angry. I don't want to see you unhappy. Seeing this, Mark's father issued a command. Mark, what's wrong with giving Claire a small bowl? Sarah has a birthday every year anyway. A guest is at the door. How can a host lack such generosity? Mark's mother chimed in. Exactly. Don't lose face over just a bowl of noodles. Mark wavered. He looked at me apologetically. Sarah, how about we give some to Claire? I cooked a lot anyway. I gripped his wrist tightly and shook my head vigorously. Have you forgotten? This was our agreement. Every year on my birthday, you cook a bowl of noodles for me. Noodles meant only for me, given to no one else. Claire said sensibly. Mark, it's fine. I was wrong. I thought Sarah wouldn't mind. Mark, feeling embarrassed, became somewhat unhappy. Sarah, be obedient. It's just a bowl of noodles. Don't make things difficult for me. But I wouldn't let go. This year, because Claire returned from abroad, Mark had broken many of my exclusive privileges for her sake. I could compromise on anything, except this bowl of noodles, which was most important to me. I didn't want to yield. I stubbornly tried to pull Mark towards me, but Mark got angry and insisted on pulling back. In the struggle, the soup spilled. Even though Mark dodged quickly, a few drops still splashed onto his hand. Mark was furious. He threw the bowl against the wall and raised his hand. Slap. A slap landed on my face. Sarah, you asked for this. This was the third year of my marriage to Mark. During this year, we constantly argued over trivial matters. When dining at the Miller residence, his parents gave me attitude because we didn't have children yet. I showed them countless IVF records, but all I got in return was a sneer. Finally, when I couldn't help but want to pull down my pants to show them the dense needle marks on my buttocks, Mark got angry. Sarah, can you have some decency? His mother looked at me like I was a dead rat. Every woman goes through this. What are you being so pretentious about? After his childhood sweetheart Claire returned to the country, arguments became a daily occurrence. When dining at a hot pot restaurant with his childhood friends, I asked him to help mix my dipping sauce. He was extremely impatient. I always mix it for you. Don't you have hands? Claire timely brought over a small dish. Mixed it for you. It's what you like. My secret recipe. Mark took it, and the two exchanged a smile. When I asked him to go to the newly opened amusement park, he frowned. That's a place for kids. How old are you? Can you be any more childish? But when I went to the amusement park with friends, I saw him handing a freshly bought ice cream to Claire. I stood silently in front of him, not knowing what to say. He clicked his tongue. After the argument that day, I asked if you wanted to go, and you said no yourself. Claire happened to want to come, so I accompanied her. You can't blame me for this, right? Claire was like the neighbor's child. Mark, his parents, and his childhood friends frequently compared her to me, comparing back and forth. The conclusion was always, Claire isn't like you. Can't you learn from Claire? Tears welled up in my eyes. Just as I was about to retort, Mark would say, we're saying this for your own good. We hope you can be as excellent as Claire. Yes, yes, yes. It's all me being indecent, me being delicate, me being childish. I twisted the ring on my finger, not knowing how to change to become the decent, generous, and presentable wife in his heart. Maybe someone like Claire, happy family, wealthy, cheerful and generous personality, lots of friends, loves to smile. I was originally a rat in the gutter. Dark and twisted is my true face. Claire is a sunflower. Mark is the pea shooter protecting her, and I am the ugly zombie. His cold words were bullets hitting my chest. I covered my face and inexplicably laughed in my heart. Sarah, sorry, Mark regained his rationality. He wanted to come over and comfort me, at a loss for what to do. I used all my strength and slapped him back hard with the back of my hand. Does it hurt? Mark. Everyone, who had been quietly watching me get hit, finally reacted. They hurriedly got up and surrounded Mark. Mark, are you okay? Oh my, Mom told you not to marry this wild girl, told you to wait for Claire, but you wouldn't listen. Mark's father trembled with anger, pointing at me, speechless for a long time. I said it. Women from single-parent families shouldn't be married, they're all sick. Look, now she even dares to hit people. Mark cared most about saving face. He waved everyone away, his eyes full of disappointment and condemnation towards me. Sarah, what craziness has gotten into you? I know you're unhappy. Claire appeared. You're unhappy I'm good to her. Unhappy she's good to me. What exactly do you want? Do you want me to cut ties with Claire and everyone else, and just be your slave alone? Will you be happy then? I fought back tears. Mark, when we got married, I told you I'm very possessive. You have these childhood friend relationships. You have to guarantee you can handle them well after marriage before I marry you. How did you promise me back then? Claire gently wiped Mark's hand clean with a tissue and sighed. Mark, I think we shouldn't contact each other anymore. I don't want to hurt anyone, nor ruin your marriage. I really don't know how things turned out like this. Mark grabbed her wrist to stop her from leaving. This isn't your fault. It's Sarah being too petty. I told you. Her mom ran off with someone when she was little, and her dad ignored her. People like that tend to be extreme. I was in disbelief. You told her about my past. Those secrets you promised to keep for me. You told them all. A flash of guilt crossed Mark's face. I just didn't want her to misunderstand you, to be more understanding of you. I felt like I couldn't breathe. The AC in the Miller house, habitually set very low, roared past my chest. Countless words blocked my throat. In the end, I could only ask one sentence. Mark, do you still remember what you said when you proposed to me? It was a snowy night. We came out after watching a movie. Mark, look, it's snowing. So romantic. Mark took off his scarf and wrapped it around my neck. Silly, don't catch a cold. I reached out to catch the snow, but it melted in my hand. It all melted. Can't keep it. Mark reached out and held my hand. Of course snow can't be kept, but there is one thing that will stay in your hand forever. I froze, my heart full of anticipation. Mark dug in his coat pocket and pulled out a Bluetooth speaker. What is this? He pressed the button, and my favorite music played. Ain't it funny how love hits you when you least expect it to? Anytime, any place, it can come right out of the blue. I thought it was only made for movie screens. Then you came along and you changed everything. Snow fell all around, in the vast whiteness, in front of the empty cinema. Mark knelt on one knee. He took out a ring and looked at me sincerely. Sarah, I know you're afraid of marriage, afraid of loss, worried that love will disappear and eventually become an unbearable existence. But, I promise you, I will always love you. I want to spend my life with you. I promise you. Mark, will never do anything to make Sarah sad. I will always love you, just as you have always loved me. I want to form the happiest little family with you. Me, you, and our future baby, just as you always longed for. An ordinary but happy family. Snow fell on his face. The warm yellow streetlight illuminated his sparkling eyes. Like a loyal knight, he reached out his hand to me. My dear princess, will you marry me, forever and ever and always? I do. Mark's face turned pale. He pointed at himself. Are you accusing me now? So if our marriage has problems, is it all my fault? I glared at him. Isn't it, Mark? For you, I did IVF, suffering unbearable pain. For you, I endured your parents' nasty words. For you, I learned to cook just because you said you wanted to drink soup made by your wife, that you found it heartwarming. For you, Mark roared, veins popping out. Lady, did I beg you to marry me? In that instant, my mind went blank. I looked at him but didn't know who the man in front of me was. I had seen many sides of Mark, but I didn't know he could look so hideous. Claire picked up her bag to leave. I think I should go. I'm really sorry. I didn't know a bowl of noodles was so important to Sarah. Mark chased after her. No, Claire, this has nothing to do with you. Mark, let's divorce. Mark stopped chasing her steps. He slowly turned to look at me. Sarah, do you know what you're saying? I nodded. I was very sober. Since you say I forced it, then let's divorce. From now on, let's never see each other again. Mark's eyes widened, looking incredulous. Sarah, you want to leave me? I was very clear. I chose marriage because of love. If he doesn't love me anymore, then I don't want him. Divorce isn't easy, but at least leaving is easy. I took my documents and important items, ignoring Mark's attempts to stop me, left the Miller home, and went to the small apartment I bought before marriage. Mark kept calling, one call after another. After sending him a message, I blocked all his contact information. I'm very busy and have nothing to say to you. If you agree to divorce, see you at the Civil Affairs Bureau. I really was very busy. Although it was summer vacation, I still had duty shifts, home visits, and river patrols, clocking in twice a day. By the end of the patrol, I even couldn't help advising the cats and dogs walking by the river to be careful and go home early. Mark found out my address from someone and blocked me when I was taking the orange tabby cat downstairs from my apartment complex to be neutered. He was unshaven, his white shirt wrinkled. It was obvious he hadn't been doing well these past few days. He wanted to come forward and hug me. "Sarah, come home. Without you these past few days, I don't know how I got through it." I took a few steps back. "Mark, I made it very clear. Unless it's about divorce, don't talk to me. After you said such hurtful words to me, I can't forgive you. It's completely over between us." Mark desperately denied. "No, those were just angry words. You kept provoking me then." And Claire was in a hurry to leave. The situation was chaotic. I didn't know what to do, so I said that. I looked at him calmly. "Mark, there are no angry words. Those were undisguised, unrehearsed true thoughts." Mark's eyes were red. "No, those weren't my true thoughts. I was just afraid. Afraid you'd feel it wasn't worth it. Afraid you'd leave me. You gave so much to me. I didn't know how to repay you." I sneered. "So you repaid me with humiliation." Mark's face turned pale, shaking his head desperately. "No, Sarah, listen to me." Before he could finish, his phone rang. He took it out, glanced at it, and declined it. The ringtone was persistent. After being declined, it rang again. He looked at me, then at the phone, hesitating. Like every time Claire called before, he was used to me magnanimously telling him, "It's okay, answer it." But this time, I wanted to see how he would choose without my feigned generosity. We looked at each other in silence. The ringtone rang again and again. Finally, after the sixth time, Mark answered. "Claire, what is it?" Claire's voice came through. "Marky, I heard from Auntie that you haven't been eating lately and your stomach problem flared up again. That won't do. For the sake of our childhood friendship, let me treat you to a meal." Mark hesitated for a moment. "No need, Claire. I'm busy here." But Claire didn't give up. "Where are you? I'll come find you. I'll wait for you to finish your business and we can eat together." "I don't want to bother you either, but Auntie asked me to." "Don't make Auntie worry." She persuaded him a few more times. Mark hesitated, glanced at my expression several times, then covered his mouth and whispered a few sentences. "Then wait for me at the hot pot restaurant we usually go to. I'll go over myself later." Hanging up the phone, he stammered. "Sarah, Claire needs me for something. I'll talk to you next time. Unblock my number. Anyway, don't block me." I looked at the man in front of me. 26th time. "What? This is the 26th time you've left me for Claire." "Mark, you're really ridiculous. If Claire asks you to dinner, you always go. On my birthday, after our date, you still went to eat the late-night snack Claire treated you to. You like Claire so much. Why don't you live with her?" A trace of guilt and sudden realization appeared on Mark's face. "So you were unhappy and wanted to divorce me because of Claire. You didn't want me to eat with Claire. Why didn't you tell me?" Something inside me seemed to shatter. I said it. I said it many times. I really told you many, many times." Looking at me for a few seconds, Mark seemed to make a decision. He picked up his phone and sent a voice message. "Claire, sorry, I can't make it." Putting down the phone, Mark opened his arms to me. "Sarah, I won't go eat with her anymore. I promise you. I'll keep my distance from her and draw a clear line. From now on, I'll devote all my time to you." "Okay, good Sarah, be good. Let's go home." I only felt it was utterly absurd. Taking 2 deep breaths, I still couldn't suppress my anger. Facing his outstretched hand, I slapped it away fiercely. "Mark, do you know why male leads in angst novels don't speak? Because the moment he opens his mouth, he exposes the fact that he's a dickhead. Do you know why female leads in angst novels don't like to explain? Because the male lead is a dickhead. He doesn't listen to explanations. He doesn't understand anything you say to him. Like a stupid pig that can't understand human language. I've said so much to you, and you haven't understood a single sentence. Good, good, good my ass. From today on, unless it's about the divorce, if you contact me again, I won't respond. Your comprehension skills are worse than my students. Go take some reading comprehension classes when you have time." Mark looked sorrowful. "Sarah, I know you're saying these things to spite me on purpose. It's useless. No matter what you say, I won't leave you." I didn't want to entangle with him anymore. I stepped sideways to avoid him and left with the cat carrier. Dickhead, get lost. I had a lawyer draft the divorce agreement. Just as I was about to send it to Mark, I heard the news that he was hospitalized for stomach perforation due to days of excessive drinking. I went to the hospital. Just as I reached the ward door, I heard a commotion inside. It sounded like Mark's childhood friends. The three men besides Claire were discussing me. The oldest, Jason, said, "What's wrong with Sarah? You're hospitalized because of her, and she doesn't even visit or reply to messages. How can she be so heartless?" Mark coughed twice. "She's divorcing me because of Claire," Sam said. "This Sarah is too petty. We grew up with Claire. If something were to happen, it would have happened long ago. She doesn't understand. Claire is our little princess. We agreed that marriage or not, none of us would let it affect our friendship." Chris hesitated for a while. Sigh. "Childhood friendships shouldn't affect marital relationships either, Mark. Maybe you should keep some distance from Claire for now, not like before marriage." Mark's voice was calm and composed. "What? Just because I'm married, I can't be good to Claire?" The ward fell silent. I pushed the door open and walked in. After a moment of silence, I answered the panicked questions on their faces. I heard everything. They were extremely embarrassed. I smiled. "I eavesdropped. You talked behind my back. Everyone is at fault. Why don't we just let it pass? Could you please go out? I have something to say to Mark." They walked past me resentfully. "Jason tried to salvage the situation. We didn't say these things to drive a wedge between you. It's just that the bond of growing up with Claire, you might not understand." I looked at him. "What's hard to understand?" A group of men circling around Claire. "Isn't it just one Rui and 4 Ling Yanches?" "What do you mean? Who's Rui?" He didn't understand, but he clearly sensed my mockery. I explained patiently. "Friendship is friendship. Love is love. What is feelings beyond romance? Needing others to understand and approve, what kind of feeling is that? A huddle of third wheels hovering outside of love." "Sarah, don't be so nasty. We and Claire have an innocent childhood friendship. You view us with such dark thoughts. No wonder Mark can't stay with you." Jason glared at me. I looked left and right, then ran behind Mark on the hospital bed. "Am I nastier than you guys? Every time we go out to eat, you put on an elder's airs, telling me to take good care of Mark, to be sensible. When I can't stand Claire's boundary-crossing behavior, you call me petty and dark, telling me to be generous. I wonder, by marrying Mark, how did I end up with 3 extra dads? Claire herself, too, acting like she never ate noodles in her past life, snatching noodles cooked for someone else's wife. If she can't snatch them, she makes sarcastic remarks about the wife. You lot, looking like a meeting of turtles and toads, ugly together. Are you asking for a beating?" Jason and the others couldn't stand it anymore. The impulsive Jason raised his fist and charged at me. I grabbed Mark by the scruff of his neck and used him as a shield to meet the attack. Bang! Jason's fist landed squarely on Mark's face. It looked painful. Luckily it didn't hit me. Jason was shocked and angry. "Mark, I didn't mean to hit you." Mark seemed to be in great pain, covering the hit spot, unable to speak for a long time. "Enough. Arguing is one thing. Why resort to violence?" "Jason, what's wrong with you? You want to hit my wife. Go, go. All of you go. Don't be an eyesore here." Chris and Sam pulled Jason away. "What great friendship. Not even pursuing this. What a pity. Why didn't he land a few more hits?" I put Mark down. Before he could speak, I took out the divorce agreement and handed it to him. Mark's face turned pale when he saw it, speechless for a long time. "Sarah, do you have to go this far? You vented your anger. You scolded them. And you still want to divorce me. What exactly do you want?" I answered sincerely. "I want to divorce you." Mark was speechless, his face instantly turning dull, looking deeply struck. "Sarah, please don't be like this. I beg you. I know I was wrong. I'll stay away from Claire in the future. I'll also tell my parents to be polite to you and stop bringing up your single-parent family. From now on, it'll just be the two of us living a good life." "Okay, Sarah." This man knew everything all along but did nothing, even when trying to salvage things. He treated what he should have done as bargaining chips. I didn't want to say more. I tapped the agreement. "Marital assets. We split half-half. You also need to compensate me for the mental damage of IVF and labor compensation for housework. Every cent I deserve. I won't take less. Of course, if you want to compensate me more, you can. It's up to your conscience." Mark flipped through it, then hugged the divorce agreement and shook his head at me. "I don't want to sign. I will never divorce you in this life." As expected, I turned to leave. "Then I'll see you in court." Mark and I each took a step back. He considered divorce, and I, at his request, unblocked him from the blacklist. He sent me long paragraphs of messages every day. Besides begging for reconciliation, he sent me his daily life and how much he missed me. To defend me, he even had a fight with Jason and Claire, parting on bad terms. I didn't reply to a single one. Aside from having nothing to say, the biggest reason was that I was too busy with work. I became a homeroom teacher this year, finally catching a breath. I returned to the office and was shocked to find a letter on my desk. Opening it, it turned out to be a love letter from a male student in the class next door. The death knell for my career and going to prison seemed to ring in my ears. I didn't know how to resolve this yet, so I could only take the love letter home first. Unexpectedly, I ran into Mark downstairs at my apartment complex. He was squatting on the ground feeding cats with cat food. "Mark," I called out to him. He stood up to look at me. I couldn't help frowning. He had lost a lot of weight. His clothes, which used to fit well, hung loosely on him. There were dark circles under his eyes, and his eyes were full of red blood streaks. Anyone could tell he was having a very hard time. Noticing my gaze, he panicked and walked towards the darkness where there were no streetlights. I called out to him. "I already saw you. Stop hiding." Mark laughed dryly. "I'm fine. Just had a fight with my family. And another fight with Jason and the others. Nothing is going right. You're not by my side. I'm alone. Having a hard time." Before I could say anything, he hurriedly explained. "I'm not blaming you. I just kept thinking about your words after I went back. Sam hit me too." After being hit, I suddenly realized what a jerk I was before, and how jerky my friends and family were to you. We really weren't decent people. After speaking, he slapped himself hard. Thinking about it, he slapped himself hard again. I watched quietly. "It's good that you understand." Then, before I could finish, his eyes reddened, and he shook his head vigorously. "Impossible, Sarah. I don't want to divorce you." A light drizzle suddenly began to fall from the sky. I didn't want to entangle with him anymore, so I lifted my leg to walk into the hallway. Mark walked towards me, his voice carrying fragility and a faint plea. "Sarah, can I hug you? I'm all alone. It's really hard." I didn't want to. Subconsciously, I used my bag to block in front of me. The love letter fluttered out of the canvas bag. The pink letter paper fell to the ground. Mark looked as if he had been struck by lightning, staring fixedly at that love letter. "Sarah, is someone pursuing you? Aren't you waiting for me?" "I'll change." Don't fall for someone else." I picked up the letter, not wanting to explain. I dropped a sentence and left. "Don't follow me. I don't want to see you." Mark stood still as if immobilized by a spell. I returned to my apartment, unconcerned about what Mark would do downstairs. When I finished eating, showering, and packing everything to go to sleep, I still couldn't help but glance out the window. The rain had intensified into a downpour. Mark stood in the same spot, devoid of vitality, leaving only intense sorrow and sadness. He stood motionless, like a lonely soul bound to this place. The rain was too heavy. I couldn't see his face clearly. I only vaguely felt that he was looking up, staring at my window, as if waiting for me to wave to him. I closed the window, stopped looking at him, and slept until broad daylight. The next day, as soon as I stepped into the office, the chattering room instantly fell silent. Colleagues looked at each other. Finally, Lynn, who had always been close to me, stammered, "Sarah, why are you dressed so uniquely today?" I twirled around. "Unique in what way?" Lynn opened and closed her mouth, finally answering euphemistically. "Uniquely disgusting." Disgusting is right. Didn't wake up early to dress up carefully for nothing. "Sarah, is something on your mind?" I waved Lynn and Ms. Jiang, the homeroom teacher of the next class, over. As if facing a formidable enemy, I took out that love letter. "Received a death warrant." It's a love letter from a student in Ms. Jiang's class. If I don't dress disgustingly, what if the situation worsens? Both of them gasped instantly. Ms. Jiang took the letter and read it carefully. "Sean, oh my, he's the class hunk. Let's see what he wrote." "Ms. Sarah, you are so beautiful and gentle to people. I like you so much." I quickly stopped her. "Ms. Jiang, stop reading. If you read more, you'll have one foot in prison." Ms. Jiang seemed to think of something. "Wait, didn't Sean get a girlfriend? I saw them secretly holding hands before entering school today." "Wait, I'll call him over and ask." Sean was called in. At first, he looked shy when he saw me, but upon seeing my outfit, he looked thunderstruck. After Ms. Jiang asked him a few questions, he couldn't withstand the pressure of the tribunal and confessed. "My Uncle Sam made me do it. He said he couldn't stand what you did to his friend and wanted to teach you a lesson. Once you replied to me, he would report you to the Education Bureau." While relieved, a surge of anger rushed straight up. I had no grievances with them. The problems in my marriage with Mark were between him and me. Even if I wanted a divorce, I never troubled Claire. As for them, I only spoke bluntly once in the hospital ward and had never interfered with their friendship before. But Sam wanted to stand up for Mark and Claire by touching my reverse scale. Fine. He likes reporting so much. Right. Then he can taste what it's like to be reported enough. Sam rented an abandoned old house for a coffee shop. The area was at least 300 square meters. I called the hotline to report his fire safety issues. For a place like that, he probably didn't get the secondary fire safety permit. My report would be accurate. The fines and suspension of business would be enough for him to suffer. Then, I used an alt account to report his WeChat. Once a day, even if he successfully appealed to unblock it. With enough reports, his WeChat account wouldn't be far from a permanent ban. That wasn't all. I used his number to fill out inquiries for bar exam institutions, educational institutions, art exam institutions, loan institutions, car buying institutions, and men's health hospitals. I believed those enthusiastic telemarketers wouldn't let him off. Doing a good deed requires leaving a name. Right. I specifically sent him a message. Ready for sister's next wave of fury. Sam immediately knelt. He asked me to meet at his coffee shop to talk. Arriving at the coffee shop, I saw several blisters on his lips from anxiety, and his face was covered in acne. It triggered my trypophobia just looking at him. Seeing him like this, where was the dashing boss from before? He brought me a cup of coffee, held a bottle of beer himself, said nothing, clinked my cup, and downed the beer in one go. Sister Sarah, I was wrong. Please stop. I only wanted to joke with you. Don't listen to Sean's nonsense. You're my sister-in-law. How could I really report you? I wagged my finger. First, Mark and I are preparing to divorce. I'm not your sister-in-law. Second, you think you were joking. But to me, that was destroying my career. You started it. I finished it. You messed with me. You should have expected I'd fight back. Sam looked ashamed. I was wrong about this. I'm sorry. I'll drink another bottle as an apology. I held him down. No need. Even if you drink 10 more bottles, it won't appease my anger. How about this? Sponsor a few children from mountain villages to go to school. That way, our debt is wiped clean. I just want to tell you, education is not something to joke about casually. I also hope you can set a good example for Sean. Don't drag children into adult grudges. And don't lead children astray. Okay, I'll definitely do it. Receiving Sam's apology, I stopped and prepared to go home. Sam couldn't suppress his curiosity and couldn't help asking me, Sister, what did you plan to do next? I smiled and didn't reply. That was a trump card. How could I tell him? Naturally, it was to find his landlord and drop hints about how profitable this coffee shop was, suggesting that just opening it brings in money, make the landlord get greedy, kick Sam out, and open the shop himself. That way, Sam's hundreds of thousands in renovation and initial investment would go down the drain. Hee hee. After this, Claire came to find me. She looked disdainful. Sarah, we don't have a problem with you. Honestly, we just think you and Mark aren't a match. I raised an eyebrow. I'm not a match. So you are. You're hilarious. I'm more than enough for 10 marks. Claire wasn't angry. Sarah, your family background is too complicated, and you're just an ordinary teacher. We are not in the same class at all. I smiled. Yes, we are indeed unequal. Me, I teach and educate, with noble character. You lot, a pack of scoundrels, birds of a feather, with low moral character. Claire got truly angry now. Sarah, where are you noble? A wild girl from the mountains. Your mom ran off with someone when you were small. Your dad only cared about your brother, not you. Even on your birthday, you begged him to cook you a bowl of noodles, and he refused. You had to mooch off your brother's noodles. To put it bluntly, no one would care even if someone like you died. Claire really knew how to poke wounds. To say it hurt, actually, it did a little, but I would never again let someone humiliate me without talking back. I said seriously, my hometown is a place where divorce used to mean getting beaten to death. My dad beat my mom and treated her badly. Was my mom wrong to leave him? Was it wrong to pursue a better life? She had the courage to leave a bad person and not resign herself to fate. Isn't that noble character? I am indeed from a single-parent family, and I did lack love, but so what? I studied hard, got into university, and worked hard in university to buy a small apartment. After graduation, I realized my dream and became a teacher. I don't blame heaven or earth. If fate tortures me, I knock it down. But you, what about you guys? Happy families but no compassion, full of superiority, taking others' kindness for granted, trampling on others' goodwill at will. You are childhood friends, but you like to use the banner of friendship to cross lines at will, intervening in others' relationships, intervening in others' marriages. You want to be the center of attention. Used to being high and mighty, with every man revolving around you. You want every man to put you before their partner. If they don't, you use every trick, retreating to advance, even if it means destroying their marriage. You are shameless. Claire wanted to defend herself. I didn't. You did. I downed the coffee. You and Mark crossed the line. I picked up my bag to leave. I'm done. Nothing else. Oh, no. Don't look for me even if there is something. I'm busy. Also, this coffee is on you. The day before my court session with Mark, I received a call from Mark's mom. She was panicked. What should I do? I can't reach your dad, and Mark isn't answering his phone. Sarah, don't you have a friend who's a police officer? Do me a favor and ask your friend to check for me. I'm worried to death. After all, she was an elder, so I busily comforted her. Okay, I'll ask my friend right now. Auntie, don't worry. I'll hang up first and tell you when I find out. I was also afraid something happened, kidnapping or a car accident would be bad, so I hurriedly asked my friend for help. Not long after, she called me. Sarah, your father-in-law was caught soliciting prostitutes and will be detained for 7 days. Well, I momentarily didn't know what to say. Just then, Mark called too. Was busy just now. No signal there. About my dad. Don't panic. I'll handle it. I interrupted him. Mark, your dad was caught soliciting prostitutes and will be detained for 7 days. Out of humanitarianism, I didn't laugh. I just twisted the knife a little. Your dad cheated and solicited prostitutes. Your mom is going to divorce your dad. Oh my. You're going to be from a single-parent family. Mark was silent for a moment. Sarah, do me a favor. Don't tell my mom. Perhaps afraid I would despise him. He added, my mom has high blood pressure. I'm afraid if I tell her suddenly, something will happen to her. I'll find a chance to tell her later. I thought about it and didn't kick him while he was down. Then do me a favor too. Sign the divorce agreement. And we'll be even. Mark stopped speaking. Only the sound of quiet breathing remained between us. After a long time, he spoke. Okay, I'll sign. After the divorce, Mark frequently sent me long paragraphs of text, often at 3 or 4 in the morning. I was speechless with him. Bro, even if you don't sleep, others need to sleep. Later, he escalated. He sent videos whenever he cried, sobbing to the screen about how painful it was to leave me, how reluctant he was, how he couldn't move on for the rest of his life, and didn't know how to live on. After seeing it enough, my withdrawal symptoms from him gradually disappeared. I didn't need him anymore. Thinking about it, I typed the last paragraph of words to him. Mark, do you remember what you said to me on the night of my birthday? You said, lady, did I beg you to marry me? The moment you said that, I suddenly stopped being numb. All the pain you inflicted on me suddenly returned. The pain of IVF injections because you had azoospermia but wanted a child. The pain of sleepless nights. The pain of being humiliated by your parents. My self-esteem trampled. The pain of you knowing my suffering but ignoring it. Because I loved you, I endured this pain. But I realized I was wrong. Why? Because I love you, must I endure, sacrifice myself, dedicate myself, and wrong myself to maintain the harmony of the Miller family. And because you love me, you get to hurt me, ignore my pain, compare me to others, and negate everything about me. This is too wrong. I even bullied myself with you for the sake of your love. I was such a big fool before. I won't do this anymore. I will love myself, just as I loved myself before I loved you. I want a bowl of noodles just for me. I can cook it myself. I want to go to Dolly. I can go myself. As for you, I don't care how you are. If you hurt yourself, I'll feel relieved. If you want to act, I'll eat sunflower seeds and watch the show. Anyway, from now on, nothing is more important than cherishing myself and loving myself. I'm done. Bye-bye. I blocked him. Later, I heard he cooked a bowl of noodles every day, but the person meant to eat them never returned. I rolled my eyes. Such a poser. Noodle bro.